Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pastachari Satarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Shri Niranjana Maharaj ki
Om Jnanatimirandasya Garanjana Salakaya Chakshva Unminitam Nina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Ukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayati Garim Yat Kipatamaham Vande Shri Gurundinatananam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namane Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharane Nirvashesha Sanyavari Pastachade Satarane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Yadvaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktivinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'm not going to speak that long. First, I would like to congratulate the organizers for very successfully organizing this event without the slightest. I mean, really, right up to the last minute, it was amazing how, and actually even just like Neela Gopal, almost, but we caught it. I don't know if you heard me in the background saying, what? And I figured then you must have figured out when you called to say, wait 15 minutes. What's Neela Gopal calling about? And she was really fast. Something about some soccer event that you had was delayed. It was really good. I was almost rehearsed.
Where she gets that.
Anyways, it worked. He had no idea. When he walked in, he turned to me and he apologized. He said, Maharaj, I'm sorry, I didn't know they were going to do this for you. Very good. Very good. So my congratulations to the organizers for making it a surprise party, which it definitely was. And I wanted just before coming, there's this quote. If anybody has any doubts about whether or not it's bona fide to sit and to glorify somebody, because sometimes it can become a little bit too. I don't know. Birthdays are definitely auspicious when we talk about the appearance of great Vaishnavas and who have rendered so much service, yes. But sometimes it can become a little bit overly mundane. But when we're talking about glorification of Vaishnavas, I found this quote from Srila Prabhupada that dispel any doubts that anyone may have in their mind. It's from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada writes, the word Uttama Shloka means one who is famous is the best of those who are good. The Lord is good in all circumstances. That is his natural reputation. His goodness is unlimited, and he uses it unlimitedly. A devotee is also sometimes described as Uttama Shloka, meaning that he is eager to glorify the Supreme Personality of Godhead or the Lord's devotees. Glorifying the Lord and glorifying the Lord's devotees are the same. Or rather, glorifying the devotee is more important than glorifying the Lord directly. Narottam Das Thakur explains this fact. Chariya Vaishnava Seva Nistarapaye Chikeba. One cannot be liberated from material contamination without sincerely serving a devotee of Krishna. That's from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which Srila Prabhupada definitely gives his evidence that to glorify a devotee is not mundane. In fact, to glorify a devotee, for especially somebody who's been engaging in the service of his spiritual master for 47 years, 48 years, I had lost track, 47 years, and who's 37 of those years in service as a temple president. And there were times I can remember when Pyari Mohan Prabhu had doubts whether or not he should, he could, he would continue in his capacity as a temple president. But never did I doubt, even when he had such doubts in his mind for a moment, did he ever stop thinking about serving Srila Prabhupada. That's something that's very much deeply embedded in his heart. And I think he's perfectly demonstrated it by his service to the Hartford community, by his service to maintaining the temple. I remember when I called Guru Gauranga Prabhu, who, by the way, also sent a little something he wants me to play tonight. But I remember when I told Guru Gauranga Prabhu about how Pyari had acquired the new temple in Glastonbury, and he knew that Pyari Mohan Prabhu for many years was aspiring to get something, and then when I showed him pictures, Guru Gauranga Prabhu says, "Boy, that's really a feather in the cap at this stage of his life," and I actually. And I was deeply impressed that Pyari, he was always thinking of just how to save up Lakshmi for a new temple, and everybody who knows Pyari knows that he's very expert in saving Lakshmi. I believe one of the reasons why we've been able to work together for so many years in the capacity of in the roles that we play is because I've never once ever tried to push Pyari to not save Lakshmi. Even when sometimes I had doubts if it was necessary or not, I knew better than to try to push. And it's because, he's always been this way for the service of Krishna. And it even goes back into the 70s, devotees, and I don't think anybody was here who went out on Sankirtan with Pyari Mohan Prabhu in the early 70s. If anybody, has any doubts that Pyari Mohan Prabhu was a fanatic about saving Krishna's Lakshmi, because it's it's Krishna's Lakshmi, and that's how he thinks. It's how he thinks. And Prabhupada, I think it was right in Boston, devotee once told me a story when Prabhupada was in Boston, and he went out onto the back porch, and Prabhupada saw there was a paint can with a lid in the back porch, and Prabhupada was very, very disturbed. He chastised the devotee for not putting the lid back on the top of the can. He said, "This is Krishna's energy. You should not waste Krishna's energy," and the devotee was severely chastised in this way. And Prabhupada was, as we know, he was very frugal. Even in the early days, Prabhupada used to keep records of even the 2 cents, 3 cents, 5 cents he would pay for stamps in his journal. If you look in Prabhupada's journal, in his diary, he very, very meticulous about all of his expenditures. And Prabhupada's son, Pyari Mohan Prabhu, is definitely is very, very meticulous. But look, as a result of his hard work in saving Lakshmi, I don't think it would have been possible to acquire this building, what to speak of what he wants to do. He has plans with the assistance of other devotees for renovating the building. I don't think it could have been possible if he wasn't as frugal in Srila Prabhupada's service as he has been. So I brought this point up because I know his motivation is pure, is genuine. And somebody who has a pure and genuine motivation to serve in this way, we should not, to serve Srila Prabhupada, to serve the devotees, to serve the deities, ultimately in service to Krishna, to point out their service qualities and to point out and to recognize them for this service is something that's not mundane. And in fact, it glorifies Srila Prabhupada, because I'm sure Pyari Mohan Prabhu is conscious that whatever abilities he has and whatever he's done is simply in service to Srila Prabhupada. And Prabhupada is very pleased when he sees his disciples recognized and glorified. So nobody should hold back in any way having doubts that if you have something to say, that please, I'm sure Srila Prabhupada would be very pleased to hear your words spoken, and I'm sure Gaura Nitai will be very pleased as well. I wanted to simply quote that as evidence, as Srila Prabhupada's words. And then there's another quote. I won't quote it exactly, but I want to keep everything covered. And on this particular topic about glorifying a Vaishnava, there's a story, well-known story in Chaitanya Bhagavat, when Lord Chaitanya was in Kuliyadam, when he had been traveling there, followed by many of his followers. And at one point, he sat down, and when he sat down, one Brahmin came to him. And the Brahmin revealed his mind to Lord Chaitanya, where he said, please forgive me. He fell at Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet and said, how can I rectify myself? He said, previously, I was not able to recognize the true glories of a Vaishnava, of a devotee. And at times in the past, unconsciously, I said things about devotees which I realize now were things I shouldn't have said. I made fun of them, I said something about them, I criticized them in some way. And because I didn't fully realize their glories at that time. And therefore the Brahmin was very concerned how could he rectify himself from inadvertently saying something about the devotees which he realized then that he should have never said. And Lord Chaitanya gave the analogy. He says that if a person drinks poison, he said, then if he drinks the nectar of immortality, he can counteract all the effects, the poisonous effects from that drinking of the poison, and be rectified, obviously, by counteracting the effects of the poison and drinking the nectar of immortality. He's able to continue to live. So he said in the same way, it's just like if one drinks poison and then counteracts it by drinking the nectar of immortality, if one unknowingly has said something about a Vaishnava, but later realized that they had said something and it wasn't the appropriate thing to say, then the best way to counteract the effects is by, with your words, to glorify that Vaishnava. He said, by glorifying Vaishnavas. And then he told him, he said, whatever words that you have, use your ability to speak now to glorify Vaishnavas in prose and poetry, and in this way it will counteract any effects of criticism that you may have possibly made in the past. So Lord Chaitanya also encouraged the glorification of devotees. And maybe, I said I'm trying to keep everything covered, that maybe if somebody here, maybe in some time in the past, may have thought, or may have said something and they didn't fully realize the glories of a Vaishnava, now's your chance. That this also is recognized as a bona fide way to counteract the effects of unknowingly saying something. Of course, if one knowingly says something, then the only way to counteract is by going to the feet of the Vaishnava and begging forgiveness. But this is for those who may have unknowingly said something and realized it. And also there was another verse I oftentimes quote from the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, where it states that pure devotional service is so transcendently potent that simply by hearing about it, simply by glorifying it in response, simply by meditating on it, simply by faithfully respectfully accepting that it exists, and simply by praising the service of others, then even a person who hates the demigods and all living entities in the universe. In other words, even a very envious person can be immediately purified by any one of these activities. So it is not mundane to recognize a Vaishnava and to especially to use this opportunity which the organizers have taken advantage of the fact that it is Pyari Mohan Prabhu's 70th birthday. He's not a young man; he's getting older, and it's not a frequent event. So the devotees, I guess, have realized that it's a good opportunity to take advantage of a milestone, 70th birthday, and more than half of his life, much more than half of his life. What?
Is it about half?
No, engaged in Prabhupada's devotional service. No. I was going to say much more than half of his life has been engaged in service of Srila Prabhupada. No. I'm not going to say you have enough. I'm not saying you're 2/3 gone, no. Anyways, may you live a long life so that we can all benefit from your association. I wanted to just preface tonight's events with those few words. I mean, there's many things I could say about my friendship with Pyari Mohan Prabhu. It's well known should be well known to anybody that, practically speaking, he's one of my closest friends in the Krishna consciousness movement. I've known Pyari Mohan Prabhu since 1973. Well, you came to the temple in end of 72? Or 71, the Boston temple. When did you come to Boston? 72 it was, yeah. Yeah, it was near the end of 72 because I started visiting the temple near the end of 72 and you were there when I came. Of course, I didn't know you so well then, but I did know you. I know Pyari from 70. I think it was 73. It could have been the earliest part of 74. I can't remember. We were still in the old temple, so it couldn't have been any later than 1974. And Pyari Mohan Prabhu was organizing, at that time, he was organizing dramas in the temple. And he was organizing a drama for the drama of Vrikasura. Vrikasura demon, when the Vrikasura, he'd get the benediction from Lord Shiva that whoever's head he was touch, and it would crack open. And Pyari, I believe, he was the director of that drama, and he was trying out different devotees for different parts for the drama. And this is one thing that sticks out of my mind. I was trying out. I can't remember. I still remember the lines. By the touch of my hand upon your body. I guess I was, huh?
On your head.
Upon your head. I guess I must have been touching Vrikasura. Yeah. Trying out for Vrikasura. But all I remember is when I tried out, Pyari just said, I've never tried out for drama since then. He was very straightforward. Just as I remember the words of the lines that I was trying out, I remember his words, forget it. That was my beginning and the end of my acting career. So that's one thing I remember from the early days. It's a scarred for life. But anyways, I've known Pyari since back then. And I'm sure many devotees have many stories they wanted to share. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to encourage you to speak from your heart and share your appreciation, anything that you may have in your memories. And I'm also saying this not for you, but now Pyari, Mohan Prabhu will have to, you'll get a taste of what it's like to have to sit there and listen to these things. I want to make sure you sit there and tolerate it too. It's not easy. But I think it will be for, if we think of it as for Srila Prabhupada's pleasure, for the pleasure of all the devotees, and for our own purification, then I think we might find a very wonderful, special evening to mark the 70th appearance day of our dear friend and god brother, and for you, god uncle, and for many, spiritual shelter, and good friend as well, and father, and husband, Pyari Mohan Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'd like to just add something about what Maharaj said about being frugal. When I first joined the Boston Temple, I became the treasurer, and we didn't have laundry machines, so we sent the devotees out. I would give them enough money to put in the clothes in the wash. They had to beg from other people the soap powder, and then while it's in the wash, they had to go outside and collect money for the dryer. Is it on? And that's the truth. And on Radha Damodar, there was probably about 25 van parties. It was like 5 buses, maybe 20 to 25 vans. And out of all the parties, we spent the less Lakshmi on Prashadam than all the other parties.
Just to steal from gardens, though.
No. We used to beg, but we'd go to the supermarkets early in the morning when they're making the deliveries, and we'd beg from the people delivering if you can give us some whatever they had. But we didn't steal from gardens. Not. There's another story about flowers, but we won't get into that.